Kim is not here to do the intro.
Right.
So I have to, and I'm going to be honest, I don't remember how, because I've never done it. Kim always does it. Welcome. You're listening to Nuditea, a podcast where we get naked with our feelings while drinking tea. I'm Wendy, and...
This is Galen here.
Yes.
Long-time listener, first-time guest.
Yes. So Kim is absent, and this is planned but also highly unplanned.
Yeah.
We're literally here prepping this. I don't know if I'm allowed to say. I guess it's going up after.
It's going up after.
We're making Galen's girlfriend's secret Christmas present.
Shh, don't tell her.
She'll, we just won't post it.
If you're listening,
we won't post.
it's probably 2020 already, so...
Hey.
Hey, happy 2020, y'all. Hope you had a good holidays.
Or I'll get too excited and it'll be like Boxing Day and I'll put it up.
There's a solid chance that, you know what, I could be like, yeah, we did our Christmas early, like December 20th or whatever, and you're like, December 21st.
It's going up! I'm ready!
Bring it in the first day of winter.
Yep. Okay, so the topic of today is like love related, but before we get to that, we have to tell them what tea we're drinking.
Right.
But you have to do that because I don't remember.
Okay, so I just brought a tea that I got at David's Tea, picked it out myself. It takes me forever to choose anything when I'm presented with a lot of options, and David's Tea, it has a lot of that. I think it's called Forbidden Root. It's like extremely nutty. Like honestly, it tastes mostly like almonds, I would say.
It's almondy, but it's also quite chocolatey.
Yeah,
right.
It's like a, let's say it with me now,
Okay.
Rubiois.
Neither Galen, but neither of us know how to say that word, and I'm embarrassed because I drink a lot of
Ruby Boys. It's like a boy band. Ruby Boys. That's the tea name.
Listen, it's spelled like Rui Boss,
yeah.
And I know that's not the way it's supposed to be pronounced,
right.
But I'm angry about it. It's like Rue Boys or something. Anyway, so it's that tea with like a bunch of different roots, which is why it's called Forbidden Roots.
Forbidden Root, yeah. It's got like probably some chicory roots, some like licorice roots.
I get a lot of licorice.
Yeah, there's a lot of licorice in there too as well.
Okay, so that is the tea we're drinking. Galen brought this to our house. Which I'm thankful for because I'm actually getting really tired of the teas that we have.
Oh, no.
If you've been paying attention, the last couple of Nuditea episodes, all the teas that we've been drinking have been like mixes of different teas that we own. Because I've just been so bored with our teas. Actually, no, some of the combos are pretty good. Some of them are good. Some of them were a little strange. Like Kim, I think last episode had one that to her tasted like red Kool-Aid.
Ew. Oh, you know what? I'm not a fan of berry teas like that.
Oh, I don't often
teas,
go for a fruity tea, but some days I feel it.
Yeah.
So while we are prepping for this secret surprise Christmas gift for Galen's girlfriend, we're gonna talk a little bit about love.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to...
Oh, love and relationships, I think.
Yeah, love and relationships.
Heartbreak.
Because, oh boy. Okay, that was not a part of the zero schedule that we made, but
you're right.
Sure, we'll see where this takes us.
If it gets a little too intense, you've got your weighted blanket. Well, not your weighted blanket.
A special someone's weighted blanket. Yeah.
That you can just support yourself with.
Basically, how we wanted to start this was, no, you keep going.
Okay.
Yeah, you've got this. Was because I just asked Galen if he felt like Maggie was the one. He basically dodged.
I didn't dodge.
You kind of dodged and you were like, it's funny because Maggie's friends are asking her if Galen's the one. So now I'm asking you again, Galen. Like, how are you feeling about this?
Look, like, I get that, I'm 25, she's 24. We've been dating for a year and close to a half, between a quarter and a half. Mm-hmm. So we both, love each other very much. We definitely see a future together. Like, we're planning on moving in together in April of this year, so in a few months. Honestly, we would do it sooner if we could. It's just kind of like circumstance. Mm-hmm. So we're very, very excited to cohabitate, not with roommates or anything, just the two of us. But really, there's zero actual desire to rush to rings and weddings. Mm-hmm. You're pretty much one of the only friends I know that's been married at this point, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, I've got one other friends that's like they're engaged. They've been dating since high school.
Okay.
But their wedding literally isn't until 2020, and I've known about it since 2018.
Okay.
But Maggie, she's from a smaller town. Shout out Brockville, Ontario / Athens, Ontario. And just kind of like how things are in smaller towns, like people get married earlier.
Yeah.
So like right now she's literally like on her way to a bride's dress for like one of her best friends.
Ooh.
She's got like a number of weddings coming up in future years and stuff like that. Between the two of us, it's not like, oh, you know what, let's just rings out, do all that. We just, obviously gotta I feel like it should like live together for a little bit before I know.
Yeah, for sure.
And honestly,
and you guys it feels like you guys have been dating for so long.
Everyone says that.
But when you said a year and a half, I was like a little confused. I was like, I swear to God, it's been like 3 years.
I know. Everyone also says that. Like, her friends say that. And, like, yeah, people we know, they're all like, haven't you guys been together for a long time? We're like, they were saying this before we were dating a year, so.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I literally don't even remember when you guys started dating because it feels like it was such a long time ago.
Yeah. No, officially it was like July 13th.
Of last year.
2018, yeah.
Oh, man.
So.
Okay.
Not the longest time, but also, like, I think we're both kind of on the same page with it. Like, if we live together for, like, 4 years and just, like, don't get married through that time, that's fine.
It's freaking common law at that point anyway.
Exactly.
Like, what does it matter?
And we know a lot of friends that are in the same situation as that. And, like, also it's a bit of it, like, a lot of it's just, like, life stage figuring out stuff, Like, neither of us are, like, solidly in our careers yet where we want to be. So it's just not something I'd want to like do right now. Like, and I think one important thing is like I wouldn't still be with someone if I didn't think it was possible that I would be with them forever. Yeah. And that's kind of like that's literally how my like last relationship ended, was like me realizing that.
And I think that's important to stress because I find a lot of women in relationships jump too quickly to ask or try to bring up the subject of like, oh, not necessarily like let's get married right now, but like where do you think that we'll end up getting married, or do you think that we'll end up together and have this big whole future together, where it's like, I think your answer is very appropriate because it takes into account right now we really love each other, and obviously I wouldn't still be in this relationship because you're not a dick if you didn't think that was a possibility. Yeah, which I think is like the most responsible answer.
Yeah.
Very practical.
Yeah, and if you've kind of had the thought for like a while that's like, this is not someone that I want to like, honestly, interchangeable, marry, spend the rest of your life with kind of deal thing, like that's obviously a massive thing. Like if every bit of it is like, oh, we'll work on this and we'll fix this and everything like that, like, I don't know.
Yeah, if there's too much to fix, maybe reconsider.
Because like that was an interesting thing that I realized, because like my first relationship was like close to 4 years. It was over 3 years. And I was like, honestly, near the end of it, I was kind of like, I think there's other like people that like fit better out there. You know what I mean? As opposed to like the first relationship you're in. Oh, this is great. This is like who I'm marrying. If you're seeing, that's not who the person that you're with is gonna click like with you forever, like there literally is somebody else. I mean, like,
not gonna lie, because I know the two of you separately, and not just me, but like we all felt that.
Yeah, no, see, honestly,
we were all like, what is going on with this relationship? It just didn't seem to make a lot of sense. Whereas now I feel like, even though I'm not like in contact with the two of you at the same time,
for anyone's context, she is referring to the fact that like you're referring to my ex right now.
Yeah. So, like before we were like, it's a little why.
Yeah, and but now it's because you guys knew my ex pretty well. Like, we lived with her for.
Yeah, and I run into her sometimes because she's still in the same city working.
Yeah, Ben said they ran into her last Wednesday.
Oh yeah, no, it happens. No, for me it's been like 2-3 times.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, it's fine. Like I have talked to both of you separately. Yeah. Obviously, I know you a little better than your ex-girlfriend, but I just, like, it didn't feel right for anyone close to you. It was just very confusing. But now I feel like you're in this position where it seems like, I don't know about her end, but from what I can see, it seems like she's bringing out much better qualities in you.
Yeah, that's a huge
compared to before.
That's a huge thing that I like about Maggie in my current relationship is like...
Is she okay with her name being revealed? Like, I haven't been using her name, so I hope it's okay.
I'm pretty sure that's fine.
Okay.
I mean, we're naming Brockville, so we're naming Maggie.
Okay.
So like one thing that I really like about her, because like honestly, I'm usually someone that's like very kind of like self-confident in who I am. I like who I am. I'm not a very down person with myself. But one thing I like about being with her is there's a lot of ways that like she pushes me to be better. That like. Yeah.
That's cute.
Yeah. She just pointed to a little heart that I drew at the end of love on my feature embroidery.
That's a nice little improv moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe we'll do warmth in like sending heat colors. No, we don't have that time.
Actually, we do, and we have the thread, so it's up to you.
Okay.
Anyway, just keep going.
So back to what I was saying. Yeah, like there's a lot of ways. I say this to her pretty frequently, and it's a big reason I like being with her. It's like, as much as I like who I am, there's areas that I like could see myself improving and stuff like that, and she kind of brings out like better aspects of that with me. It's like a variety of things. It could be kind of like you know, like the kind of key core relationship things, like listening better and everything like that. Or just like literally like simple everyday life things. Like for example, I'm someone that's always been passionate about the environment. I studied environmental science and environmental engineering.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do. As I've been dating Maggie, like something she's very big into is like personal consumer environmental impact. Like hence like she's vegan. A lot of like the whenever there's like something consumption wise that's going on, it's like, can we minimize like the plastic on this? Can we minimize the negative impacts and stuff like that? And so I've taken that like into heart more and into consideration more. Before I wasn't someone that was like very open to being like vegan or anything like that. Like I fully understand like it's good, it's significantly better for the environment, and it's important that like we reduce our overall meat consumption. And so just like spending so much time with her, like meals and everything, like I'm getting more into being able to like...
There's also a ton of really good vegetarian vegan food out there now.
There is.
People are getting into it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh god, I could not do this in like 2005.
Oh my god, there was nothing. There was nothing.
No, it's not good. Shout out Beyond Meat. Can I get a sponsorship deal? Save my life.
Listen, if Diva Cup still hasn't sponsored us, I doubt Beyond Meat is looking out.
This is
we're all in it for that Diva Cup sponsorship, and we've heard nothing.
What?
Maybe we should ask them.
Okay, well, I'll at Beyond Meat, you at Diva Cup again. We'll see how it goes.
Okay.
So it's just a lot of things like that like kind of make me happier as a person and like want to see myself grow as a person, check myself, so to speak. That's
it's
thing.
Nice when your partner is able to check you a little bit, but like in a nice way where they don't make you feel like an incompetent partner or person. That's always a good sign.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna let you work a little bit. Maybe get to you guys are getting the full like behind the scenes of what's going on with this gift. But maybe draw out what you want for the Bouble Bay. And then I think we can cut it out and basically go from there. Do you still want to do the year?
Oh yeah, I do.
Yeah? Okay, I think we can just draw that on here afterwards. You don't have to draw it out. So earlier when you asked me about, again, like second dodge of the one question was like, how did you know that he was the one?
Yeah, because to be honest, especially like many of us have not met your husband, Bean, so... Which
I feel is a little... crazy, and I don't think I've ever really I've never super described him in detail. I think the most I've said in some episode that we've done before is that his emotional clarity is super strong. Like he does not have the personality that fluctuates a lot between like happy and anger and anxiety and frustration and anger, you know, like I'm that type of person. My emotions are super volatile. In the past, have found that to be the most displeasing part of my personality because I find it hard to control sometimes if I'm frustrated or angry. I tend to like lash out or snap at people around me when it's absolutely not their fault. They have nothing to do with it. They just happen to be in my general vicinity. So I always didn't like that about myself. But with him, I feel like on the topic of feeling like we're better people in our relationships, I really feel like he has gotten me to calm down a bit and think a bit more clearly about my feelings and take a step back and realize how I should be expressing them or dealing with them instead of just like lashing out. Like anger used to be a major issue for me.
Oh my goodness.
You guys never saw it.
You're pissed at the Uber driver today.
It was not that bad. I was just like, where's our food? You promised it at 3:30. It is 3:30 and you're 2 minutes away. Anyway, not a big deal. Like, that's just me being like, why? But before I used to just snap. And I often would not know why I was so irritated. But I think like 95% of the time I was just hungry. Now it's gotten a lot better. Like, I'm able to recognize, oh, I'm angry or upset or frustrated because of these reasons. Not necessarily hunger. It's not always hunger. But when it is hunger, then I'm like, okay, I just need to, chill out. Xiaomin does not deserve this hate because my body is not happy, So on the topic of us saying that we feel like our partners bring out better personality traits, I think that's one that's really important for me because I haven't really felt that in previous relationships.
So like what would happen through your previous relationships that you were like, this is not working between the two of us?
I think that was also a lot to do with maturity level as well.
That's so huge.
Yeah, so I think I always tell this to Kim, but when I was 21, 22 is the age where I got my shit together and like started to do like a little soul searching. I was single around that time, so I tried to figure out like what. Ooh, okay. Do you wanna show Maggie?
Oh God, this is what it looks like
Guys,
on paper.
It's looking real cute.
Okay, cut everything out.
One thing I would say is probably maybe not quite as many stripes.
Okay.
Because I want them to show up a little better. So like maybe two black stripes and 3 yellow stripes.
Okay, I'm good with
I
that.
think that would be good. But that's really cute. Okay.
You were talking about some issue. Oh, you're getting your shit together.
You asked me what about previous relationships where things happened and I felt like it wasn't going to work out. Basically just like the opposite of bringing out my best personality traits, It was kind of like instead of me being a calmer, more mature person, I was like frustrated or extra needy or like emotionally unstable in like a pretty low-key way but still in a very annoying way all of the time. Like I would always feel like, oh, I feel like we should spend more time together, or I'd be like, oh, we're like not talking about certain things that I feel like we should be talking about. I was just overthinking a lot of things and not really focusing on maybe some of the more important things. The person I was dating, my last serious long-term relationship, was also immature. It was I was his first serious girlfriend.
Right. I think we met him like once.
Oh, no. That was my fling after I broke up with the last serious.
Okay, so,
that was not a relationship. It was more just like a friends with benefits situation.
He's here.
What?
He's here. I remember that. I was like, okay, new guy.
Yeah, there he is.
Who dis?
It doesn't matter. So the guy I was dating before that guy, essentially, like we were both pretty immature. I think we had different expectations of the relationship going in, which were not well communicated throughout our relationship. My main thing now with relationship is communication. Basically, especially in my situation, because I'm married, so like, where is he gonna go? If I feel a certain way or if I have something on my mind, I basically just tell him right away in the kindest way possible if it's something that has been bothering me. Okay, so
let's do some quick cutting up break.
Just pause the podcast. We're gonna actually, you should cut this out. This is all you. Okay, so the love looks good. We might have to make the heart a little bigger for love, but don't worry about that right now.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Just a little bit bigger.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Because you're gonna have to do like super tiny stitches.
Shit, yeah.
I mean, angles are like, you've got a lot of angles going on anyway, but if it's too small, that means you're gonna have to do super small stitches. I don't know how well that's gonna work out. This whole episode is gonna be Wendy's love story with Xiangbin and Galen's love story with Maggie.
Yeah, you were like, let's do this podcast on grad school. I'm like, that's boring, and I haven't even started.
I'm
kidding, it's not boring.
I wanted to talk about like
let's get juicy.
The experience of like different stages we were at, right? I feel like I might have to make you come back for that talk.
Yeah, that makes sense, especially when I'm in grad school.
I kind of want to have Ben here too. Ben has been here through audio like multiple times.
He was busy today, or else he would have.
Yeah, that would have been fun. Because he's also in a like different stage of relationship in his life as well.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah.
So that would have been interesting to hear about too.
Like, because you guys got married after how long did you guys know each other?
We got married 2 years and a couple months after we started dating.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was a super fast-paced thing. We did do City Hall, so it was like super low-key. My parents were there. They took lots of pictures for us. It was a lot of fun. Our
officiator?
Yeah, yeah. The officiator, AJ, shout out to AJ. He was great. He made us feel super comfortable. Didn't think I was going to cry because I was like, low-key, it's City Hall.
How did you think you were not going to cry?
I don't know.
When did you know yourself?
I don't like crying in front of my parents to begin with. Because I find it to be like awkward. Asian kids and parents don't often show that kind of emotion to each other. Okay. So I didn't think it was going to happen. Plus, it wasn't like all our friends and family were all there. And it wasn't like a huge thing. Yeah. Oh, I cried. I super cried. Yeah, in some of the pictures, you could just see me, like, my teeth were clenched, and I was like, no, Wendy, it's not happening, and then it happened, so. Ooh, okay. We never really explained what was going on here with our crafting. Oh, that's kind of how I wanted it to go. Yeah.
And then if I wanted to do more
What if we do, like, this?
Because it's got to fit in the circle, does it?
No, because we can move the circle.
Okay.
Yeah, we can move the circle so it doesn't matter. Okay, so what we're doing is Galen is embroidering by himself with my moral support.
And instructions, because I've never done this, and Wendy's great at this.
Just embroidering like a super cute message onto Maggie's Christmas present, which is behind us right now. Okay, so now we're just gonna lay this out, and then that can either go like over here or over here.
There's actually not even bad.
You like it there? I think
so.
A little like diagonal make it super cute. Yeah, that looks good.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. All right, now you just have to copy that onto the fabric.
What?
Yep.
How do I do? It took me so long to do this. Oh, this is hard.
It's not hard. This did take you like a stupid amount of time, though, I will say.
It's going to take longer now. That was on paper.
It's going to be okay. Like, I wouldn't worry too much about, like, imperfections. Because, it's a homemade gift. Maggie, look at how much he loves you. Look at him sweating. It's hilarious.
It's true.
I'm thoroughly enjoying myself.
Yeah. Wendy is having the greatest time.
I basically just have nothing to do except for tell Galen what to do and talk to the microphone about how much I love Xiangbin and make Galen answer questions about how much he loves Maggie. One interesting thing that you said earlier was about moving in before getting married.
Yeah.
Which I think is super important because a lot of cats get let out of the bag once you're living together.
Yeah,
like cats that you never knew existed.
Yeah.
And I think it takes a lot of adjustment and compromising to be able to live with someone for a long time, like a lifelong time. And Xiangbin and I actually did not do that.
Yeah.
Which
Bombshell.
I mean, like, it is, but also, whenever I go visit, I stay at his place for a minimum of 2 weeks to, like, 4 or 5 weeks. And in that time, Like, there have been certain instances where I'm like, okay, you've got to get in those nooks and crannies in the sink when you're cleaning because I don't want to see that. You know, so it's like very little things that we've already had to figure out. And who knows, like, once we have both graduated from our degrees and are actually living together, I don't know what other things are going to come up. For anyone who is potentially still single and wants to be in a relationship in the future, do try to live with your partner for a significant amount of time prior to, like, making the decision about marriage or, like, long-term commitment. Yep. Which we didn't do. So I don't know if I have the right to say anything. No. Was there a point in you and Maggie, like, early dating life where you decided, like, I do see a future with this girl, so I'm gonna like continue to seriously date and be committed in this relationship?
Yeah, I do remember a point like that. So I think a few things happened. One was, like, I say our anniversary is July 13th, and that's not, like, on our first date or anything like that. Like, you know, like, we met on Bumble, and then we went on, like, probably, like, 3 or 4 or 5 or something like that dates before we were like, okay, like, do you want to, like, commit to this? Because we're not just gonna be, like, dating for 2 months kind of deal.
Yeah.
That's not what any of us, like,
we're too old for that shit. It's too much.
And I think she felt more strongly about that than I did in the moment. Like I was like, yeah, no, I'm down to do this. She's like, no, we gotta know here.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, like,
I mean, I think it is important.
Yeah.
Especially if you guys have been on several dates. Like, girl doesn't want to waste any time, you know?
Yeah. And then later on, we had some, like, deep conversations about where we were going and stuff like that. And, like, part of it was her asking, like, what went wrong in my last relationship that, like, made it end. Yeah. Which, like, I'm always okay with that story. It was just kind of like falling out of love, so to speak, and realizing like this isn't the one and such. This isn't the person I want to spend a long time with. And in that moment, I was like, I do see myself being like very long term with you and everything. It's never gonna. Yeah, it's. I would never like promise, or I did have promised in the past relationship that like it was gonna be more of like a long term for everything, and I just never really wanted to like go down that route because again
PTSD, a little scarring, but and like, also like guilt.
But I just do want to like reassure that like I want to do this, like I just want to be happy with her as long as we would want to do that. If that's 5 more years or if that's 50 more years, like just
we'll see how it goes.
We'll see how it goes.
Who said I love you first?
Oh, it was like I think it was like just under 3 months. I remember I had this conversation with my friend Aaron because it was like, it was like her and some other friends were talking about like, what's the time you say it? Because I was very much like considering saying it. And Aaron was like, 3 months. Like before then is kind of weird or something. And I think I made it like 2 months, 3 weeks.
And you're like, I can't hold it in anymore.
Yeah, like I've been like thinking about it for like weeks.
Oh.
Like weeks. It wasn't just like, I just want to say it now or whatever. Like just thought of it now. It was like just literally still like
just keep it in, Galen.
Yeah.
Hold it together.
Yeah. Oh, I think it was also unfortunate because like if I waited a few more days, it would have literally been her birthday. I didn't want to, but I didn't want. You don't want to be like, happy birthday, I love you.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, that might have been like, are you saying that you love me because you love me, or is it because it's my birthday and you want me to like be extra happy?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
precisely.
I get that. No, I think you made the right choice.
Yeah. So
Kim and I literally had a podcast episode on where I ranted about what I think is wrong with a lot of people's perceptions on saying I love you.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that, you felt like it and you went ahead and did it. I think that's what everyone should do.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, it was something that had like been on my mind for a long time. And honestly, like we just had like nothing special for this date, but we had like a date night planned out. We were going to see like a comedy club. We went out for dinner. Between the dinner and the comedy club, we were just like chilling like on the waterfront in Toronto, like like Queen's Quay and all that, like super nice spot.
The waterfront in Toronto is like a really nice romantic spot.
It is. And like, it just felt like the right time. And like, I remember we were like, it was cold. So we were like huddled up next to each other. And I was like, I remember like in my throat, like,
I love you.
And I was like, I think she just was like leaning on me or something like that. I'm just like, she like looks up and she's like, she's like, what are you thinking? I'm like, long pause, longest pause, I did not just like splurt it out. I was very much like, I've been thinking and like how we are, and who you are, and me and all that. And
you had a spiel.
Oh, it's not like I like planned out the spiel, but I just was word vomiting. You know what I mean?
Oh my goodness.
And then and then I said it, and then she's like, okay, good, because I love you too.
Oh my goodness, this is so cute.
It was really like, it was extremely like mutual thing in that moment.
Aww.
Yeah, I like our story on that. It was
that's
sweet.
Adorable. I just love the fact that you literally like were trying to hold out, but then just couldn't.
Yeah, it's not like I was trying to like play chicken or anything, but it was definitely like that like 3 months-ish thing.
Which is hilarious because whenever I talk to Kim about like previous relationships and like everything that happens in relationships, including the whole I love you thing, 3 months seems to be my time as well for like either deciding whether or not I want to have sex with this person, like saying I love you. If I've felt it at that point, then I say it at 3 months ish. If I haven't, then it's probably not gonna happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the 3 months, that's like the magic number in relationships apparently.
Just a little like part 2 for your I Love You podcast. New guidelines. 3 months, guys.
When I always express our relationship as like, oh, I trapped Xiangbin, but I honestly sometimes feel like I did, because the way that for us like the whole I love you thing went down when I think it was like last Christmas or something.
Last Christmas I
gave you my heart, and then I aggressively asked for yours back. That is literally what happened, because I was like, so I love you. How do you feel about that? And how do you feel about me?
Yeah.
And I basically just like dragged it out of him. I mean, like
I'm doing like a fishing motion. Like,
it's more just like, oh. Yeah, no, it like felt like that. But to him, obviously, he's the personality where it's like if he wasn't feeling it, he would have told me honestly. Mm-hmm. But I always thought it was hilarious because I'm very aggressive with my feelings, especially after my like age 21, 22 soul search moment. Didn't want to play any games anymore. I didn't want to mess around with not telling people how I felt or acting a certain way because I feel like they would have liked me better for it. Mm-hmm. At that point, I was like, it's done. Like I found the person, I found my person, and I'm gonna make sure he knows about it.
That's good.
Wait, you've met her parents?
I met her parents. Took a little longer to do that, but mainly because they're in Athens. Shout out Athens. Mm-hmm. It's not like she met my parents like reasonably early on, because like I live with my parents. Right. Yeah. So that's kind of hard to avoid. Like, Galen, where are you going today? I'm like, I'm going on a first date, Mom. She's like, okay, well,
do you need money?
It was
do you need a ride?
It was literally, no, it wasn't that. It was like I had my like sleeves like rolled up. It was the summertime, but I had them like not quite aligned properly. My mom like fixed my sleeve.
Oh my goodness, you slob. You can't go out looking like this in front of girls. Oh my gosh, the joy of living with parents.
I honestly love my mom so much. I'm happy I have the relationship with my mom that I do.
Aww, that's really cute.
Yeah.
Oh, so what do your parents think about like your quite serious relationship with Maggie? Do you guys talk about that stuff?
Not really. I don't think. Like, I don't talk.
They never asked you like, oh, where do you think this is going? Do you think this is like long-term serious?
No, I don't think so. Like, okay. Usually it's just kind of like stays a little general with us. Like, my mom's like, how's Maggie? And I'll be like, she's good, even though she's like having like a rough day. She's good.
She's fine.
Everything's fine. You don't tell your parents. No, but like they really like her and stuff like that. Like, parents are kind of great like that. My mom is like also the absolute cutest. So the last I think a pretty early experience that Maggie had with my mom is like last Halloween and this Halloween as well, because my mom's like obsessed with doing Halloween costumes. You see, like, all those Halloween costumes that I come out with, like, that's like mama's work right there. Like, sewing.
Your mom is to you as I am to Kim.
Yeah, no, my mom's gonna be pissed. Like, is probably a little low-key pissed that I didn't come to her for this. But like, no, I want to go see Wendy.
Oh no! Oh my god, I'm sorry.
Her name's Marianne. You can be like, I'm sorry,
Marianne.
Sorry, Marianne.
I never meant for this to happen.
Sorry, I stole your boy's like embroidery experience.
Next time, I swear to God, I will just straight up reject Galen.
Like, no,
if he asks me for help
go
with
to your
crafting.
mama.
Your mom needs you.
Oh, she's fine because at least she like sees me definitely way too much now.
Yeah. I mean, you guys live together, so maybe it's good that you guys have some time apart.
Yeah. So like any given Friday, it's just like, all right, peace, parents. I'm like, I'll see you on Sunday night.
Bye.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go see Wendy. Not Wendy. I'm gonna go see Wendy.
Definitely not Wendy.
Hey, this weekend.
Unless it's for crafting. For your girlfriend.
Yeah. After this one, I'm gonna like, bye, mom. She's like, you're gonna go see Wendy? You're gonna go see Wendy? You're gonna do some arts and crafts with Wendy? Uh-huh.
You're cheating on me with Wendy?
Have friends.
Oh, Marianne, I swear to God, I am just a temporary filler for you. I didn't mean to step on your toes. I know I've crossed a line, and I'm sorry.
I took your mama's boy's son from you.
Maggie, I just want to say that Galen is being very, very meticulous. Like, he cares so much, and I might have to kick him out after a certain point and just do it.
I totally understand.
No, I'm just kidding. It's totally fine. Are you okay?
Is the M okay? T was like here on the other.
Oh, hello, M. Where the T's supposed to be,
it's this.
You just
write.
Okay. You just want to write warmth extra big.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, so I'm gonna close out. Yep. Thank you, Galen, for joining us as an impromptu podcast guest today.
Wasn't that impromptu? We said we were doing this.
We kind of planned it, and then we were like, nah, we got no time. And then we started talking. We were like, no, we're gonna do it. Well, we're gonna record it.
Because we were just having like our normal conversation. Like, no, this is like what I would want to talk on the podcast about.
This is the tea. Kim does this, so again, I don't really know what's going on, but I think she normally says something like, thank you for listening. If you would like to listen to the audio podcast, Kim does all of the uploads for that. It's basically anywhere you normally listen to your podcast. She knows all the platforms. I don't, so I'm just going to say, like, look for Nudity Podcast somewhere, and you'll be able to find it. And then I do the video editing portion, and that is on YouTube, also under Nudity Podcast. I guess we'll have to have Galen back now for a talk on careers and grad school and applications and all of that. Yeah. So
I think that could be good. I could talk to a lot of stuff about that, I think.
Oh yeah, we all have many feelings about that. Until next time, I guess.
Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.